Hi there, I am Hannah Hembree Bell, founding attorney at Hembree Bell Law. And one of the questions we get all the time is, what happens if my spouse won't let me get divorced? And I always kind of giggle to myself a little bit and be like, the answer is nice try. They cannot stop you from getting divorced. In Texas, if you want to be divorced, you can get divorced. They can't not grant you the divorce. They can't not sign the papers. Now, what you're really asking me is, what if they're going to be a pain in the butt about getting divorced? What if they're going to make things really difficult? Now, that's a horse of a different color, because here's the deal. Eventually, a judge can make a person sign a divorce decree, or if they won't sign it anyway for them if there's no agreement. So the way that works is, if you come into our firm and you say, okay, my spouse is going to be super difficult about this whole divorce thing. We're going to know that going in. And we will put in procedural steps along the way to document our attempts to serve them, our attempts to contact them, our attempts to set hearings that they've been made aware of. So you create this paper trail of effort along the way to involve them at every step of the process. And eventually what you're going to work towards is setting a final hearing in your custody case or your divorce, right? This applies to either. Your legal team at our firm will work towards setting a final case, a final hearing where you go before a judge. The other person doesn't even have to show up. And if they don't show up, it kind of makes it a little easier as a general rule, right? No one's there. We still have to put on our case. We still have to do our work on our end. But at the end of that day, you should get a ruling for the judge, a signed order, or at least a date, when you're going to get it from the judge. If they don't sign it like from the bench, from their judge place that day, you should kind of know when it's going to happen. So they cannot stop you from getting divorced if you don't want to be married to them anymore. They can't stop you from a custody modification by just putting their head in the sand like a ostrich or emu, whichever one of that it is. That's not going to work, because we will deliberately set up your case to get it to final and get you finished so you can move on with the rest of your life.